What if the very fabric of reality, the structure of existence itself, was not what we thought it was? What if the universe was not simply an endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, but instead a living conscious system, an intricate divine design that we, as human beings, were only beginning to understand? Welcome, seeker of truth, to a journey through one of the most profound and enigmatic spiritual teachings of the modern age, the Law of One. A teaching that, despite its complexity, carries within it a message so simple yet so revolutionary, it has remained hidden, obscured by layers of secrecy, misunderstanding, and fear. Today we explore the forbidden aspects of this teaching, the parts that many have overlooked, ignored, or even actively suppressed. We will journey beyond the surface, beyond what you may have heard or read about the Law of One, and explore its deepest truths. Are you ready to cross the threshold and unlock the mysteries of existence as described in the Law of One? Brace yourself, for the truths you are about to encounter will challenge your perceptions, reshape your understanding of reality, and invite you to see the world and yourself through an entirely new lens. The Law of One, also known as the raw material, is not simply another spiritual philosophy or esoteric belief system. It is, in fact, a revelation, a channeled set of teachings received in the early 1980s by a group of seekers known as the LL Research Group. These teachings, delivered by a collective consciousness calling itself Ra, present a worldview unlike anything most humans have encountered. Ra, as they describe themselves, is a group mind, a social memory complex, from a higher density of existence. Their teachings suggest that all of creation is part of one infinite consciousness, and that the core truth of the universe is that all is one. It sounds simple, but the depth of this statement is staggering. In the beginning, there were beings from many different star systems and dimensions, beings of light, energy, and consciousness, who collectively form the fabric of all reality. These beings have experienced countless cycles of creation, destruction, and rebirth, and it is from their wisdom that the Law of One was born. This law, they claim, governs everything from the smallest atom to the vastness of galaxies, guiding the evolution of consciousness through infinite cycles of learning, growth, and transformation. But here's where things get truly interesting. The Law of One teaches that the universe is not a perfect, harmonious system in the way we may imagine. There are beings, both human and non-human, who are part of this cosmic system, yet actively resist the very laws of unity and love that bind all things together. These beings, according to Ra, are the ones who seek power, division, and control, using their free will to distort the natural flow of the universe. They are the ones who manipulate and twist the energies of creation, hiding the deepest truths of existence from the masses. And here lies one of the most forbidden teachings of the Law of One: the conscious, intentional efforts by certain forces to suppress the knowledge of oneness, to veil the truth of who we truly are. At the heart of the teachings of Ra, there is a clear distinction between two paths: the path of service to others and the path of service to self. These two paths represent the dual nature of consciousness and free will, and they define the very nature of our existence. The path of service to others is one of unity, love, and compassion. It is the path of recognizing the self in all things, of seeing the divine in everyone and everything, and of acting with humility, wisdom, and a desire for the collective good. This is the path of the true seeker, the one who has come to realize that all is one. However, the path of service to self is a path of separation, domination, and control. It is the path of those who seek to manipulate others for personal gain, who use their power to create division, fear, and suffering. It is a path that distorts the natural flow of love and light, and yet, it is a path that exists within the greater cosmic design. According to Ra, the forces of service to self are deeply ingrained in our world, influencing everything from governments to religions, corporations to secret societies. These forces are actively working to maintain a state of ignorance among the population, to keep humanity from realizing its true potential as divine, unified beings. This is where the forbidden teachings of the Law of One come into play. The Law of One, as revealed by Ra, teaches that humanity has the potential to transcend these forces, to break free from the cycle of manipulation and control that has been imposed upon us for millennia. But doing so requires the courage to face uncomfortable truths and to reject the false narratives that have been woven into the fabric of our society. The suppression of the law of one is not just a conspiracy of a few elite beings, but a systemic, collective effort by those who wish to maintain their power over the masses. These individuals and groups understand that if humanity were to fully embrace the law of one, they would lose their ability to control and dominate. One of the most profound and yet forbidden teachings of the law of one is the concept of the veil of forgetting. This is a central idea in the spiritual blueprint of our existence, one that holds the key to understanding why we experience life on Earth as a journey fraught with confusion, suffering, and a deep sense of separation. Ra, the collective consciousness that imparted the law of one, explains that when souls incarnate on Earth, they do so with a built-in spiritual amnesia, a veil that clouds their awareness of their true nature. This veil of forgetting is not merely a cosmic quirk, but a purposeful design, a mechanism that allows us to experience the full range of human emotions and challenges without the direct knowledge of our divine origin. The veil of forgetting is, at first glance, a perplexing concept. Why would souls, who are part of the one infinite Creator, voluntarily agree to forget their true essence upon entering the material realm? Why would we choose to experience a life of apparent separation, suffering, and confusion when the truth of unity is so close at hand? The answer lies in the very nature of free will and the soul's spiritual evolution. Ra teaches that without the veil, there could be no true choice, no genuine freedom to explore the depths of our being. In the absence of forgetting, we would be immediately aware of our divine essence, and the experience of life would be radically different. There would be no real lessons to learn, no growth to achieve, and no true spiritual awakening. In essence, the veil is not a punishment or a curse, but a necessary condition for our soul's journey. If we were consciously aware of our divine nature at all times, our free will would be compromised. There would be no real struggle, no path to traverse, no space in which to develop wisdom through personal experience. The veil allows us to remember, in our own time, who we are, not through external teachings alone, but through the deeper knowledge that arises from within. It is an opportunity for us to experience the journey of rediscovery, one step at a time, shedding illusion and waking up to our own truth. But the veil also has a darker side. It is not just a neutral force. Over the ages, the forces of service to self, those who seek to control and manipulate others, have understood the veil's power. They have, through deliberate distortion, deepened and reinforced the illusion of separation. These forces, embodied in systems of religious dogma, political control, scientific materialism, and societal division, seek to keep humanity in a state of ignorance. For a population that remains unaware of its true nature is far easier to control. They work tirelessly to distract, divide, and condition humanity to remain trapped in the egoic mind, the part of us that sees itself as separate, isolated, and in competition with the world around it. Through fear-based ideologies, consumerism, and the glorification of the individual over the collective. These forces perpetuate the illusion that we are alone in a hostile, indifferent universe. The result is a world where people forget their inherent connection to one another and to the divine source of all life. Wars are fought, divisions are deepened, and suffering persists because we fail to recognize that we are, in essence, all part of the same divine consciousness. The veil of forgetting keeps us blind to this profound truth, causing us to act out of fear, greed, and ignorance. We view each other as separate, as other, and in doing so, we perpetuate cycles of pain and misunderstanding. But the veil is not impenetrable. It can be lifted slowly but surely as we awaken to the truth of who we are. Each step we take towards spiritual awakening, through self-reflection, inner work, meditation, and service to others, weakens the veil. The more we consciously recognize our interconnectedness with all beings, the more we begin to dissolve the illusion of separation. we begin to understand that the suffering we experience in the world is not the fault of some external force, but the result of our own collective misunderstanding of our true nature. As we lift the veil for ourselves, we begin to perceive the underlying unity that binds all things. We see the divine in ourselves and in others. We begin to remember that we are not separate from God, but that we are God, experiencing itself in infinite forms. The veil of forgetting is, in many ways, the greatest obstacle we face in our spiritual journey. It is the force that perpetuates division, fear, and confusion. It is the reason why, in the midst of an ever-expanding universe, we often feel small, insignificant, and alone. Yet it is also the gateway to our spiritual freedom. As we awaken and peel back the layers of illusion, we come to understand that there is no other, that we are all one. The veil can only exist as long as we remain unaware of our true nature. Once we awaken to the truth, the veil dissolves, and the illusion of separation vanishes. The journey of remembering, though long and at times painful, is the most profound and transformative experience any soul can undertake. So, we stand at the crossroads. The veil is still there, but it is thinning. We are no longer bound by ignorance as we once were. Each of us carries the power to awaken, to pierce the veil, and to step into the truth of our oneness with the Creator and with all life. It is up to us to choose whether we will continue to live in the illusion of separation or embrace the path of unity, love, and divine remembrance. The veil may still be in place, but the light of awakening is shining through. It is time to remember who we are. While much of the Law of One's teachings are focused on understanding the nature of the universe, Ra also provides a detailed explanation of the process of spiritual evolution and ascension. According to Ra, all souls are on a journey of growth and self-discovery, and each incarnation represents an opportunity to evolve spiritually, to move closer to the truth of who we are. The ascension process, as described in the Law of One, involves the gradual expansion of consciousness through the various densities of existence. These densities represent levels of spiritual development, with each density corresponding to a different stage of awakening. Humanity, according to Ra, is currently transitioning from the third density, the density of self-awareness, to the fourth density, the density of love and understanding. However, this transition is not guaranteed. Only those souls who are able to transcend the illusion of separation and embrace the unity of all existence will be able to make the shift to the fourth density. This means that the true purpose of life, according to the Law of One, is not simply to survive or accumulate wealth or power. It is to awaken to the truth of oneness, to understand that every thought, every action, every feeling has a ripple effect on the whole. But here lies another forbidden aspect of the teaching. The Law of One warns that not all souls will ascend in this lifetime. Some will continue to cycle through the third density, repeating the lessons of separation and division until they are ready for the next stage of evolution. This truth, however, is rarely discussed in mainstream spiritual circles, for it contradicts the comforting idea that everyone will eventually be saved. The forbidden teachings of the Law of One present an invitation, not just to explore abstract truths, but to confront the very foundation of our existence. They challenge us to look beyond the reality we've come to accept, questioning everything we know about ourselves, about reality, and about the universe. At the heart of these teachings is a radical shift in perception, a call to see through the illusion of separation that has held humanity captive for eons. The veil that once seemed so impenetrable is now beginning to dissolve, offering us glimpses of a greater truth, one that is as simple as it is profound. We are not isolated beings, but integral, irreplaceable parts of a greater whole. We are not just individuals floating in an indifferent universe. We are an expression of one infinite divine consciousness, a cosmic web of interconnectedness that spans not only our world, but the very fabric of the cosmos itself. This realization is not just a philosophical insight, but a deeply transformative truth that calls us to awaken, to remember, and to align ourselves with the greater purpose that is embedded within the heart of existence. As we stand at this crossroads, facing the dawning of a new understanding, we are faced with a choice. This is not a choice dictated by outside forces, nor is it a choice that can be made for us. It is a choice rooted in the very depths of our consciousness, a decision that will shape the course of our lives and our spiritual evolution. Will we continue to live in the illusion of separation? Will we perpetuate the cycles of fear, division, and ego, following the path of service to self, the path of those who seek power, control, and isolation? Or will we step into the light of awareness, embracing the path of service to others, recognizing that our true purpose is to love, to serve, and to awaken to the truth of who we truly are? This question echoes through the corridors of human history, for it is not a new one. It is the same question that every soul faces at every stage of its journey. It is the question of whether we will continue to chase fleeting desires and false security, or whether we will take the courageous step into the unknown, surrendering the ego and opening ourselves to the infinite flow of love that connects all things. The journey is long, and it is not always easy. The road to awakening is fraught with challenges, obstacles, and moments of doubt. The illusions of separation are powerful, and they are reinforced daily by the structures of society, by the conditioning of our minds, and by the forces that seek to keep us bound in fear and ignorance. But as Ra reminds us, we are never alone on this path. The guidance of the Law of One is always available to us, waiting for us to open our hearts and minds to its infinite wisdom. The teachings are not hidden in some distant realm, but are woven into the very fabric of existence itself, available to all who are willing to listen, to seek, and to remember. There is a divine order to the universe, an intelligence so vast and profound that it stretches across dimensions and galaxies, across time and space. It is not distant, nor is it unknowable. It is within us, it is around us, and it is guiding us in every moment, even when we fail to recognize it. The universe does not punish or withhold from us. Rather, it patiently waits for us to open to it, to align ourselves with its flow, and to take the next step in our evolution. The Great Awakening is not a distant event or a future destination. It is a living process, unfolding within each of us, in each moment of awareness. It is the shedding of layers of illusion, the dissolving of the false self, and the remembering of who we truly are. This awakening is not a solitary journey. It is a collective one. The very nature of the Law of One teaches us that all beings are interconnected, that our individual awakenings ripple out and affect the whole. As we raise our consciousness, we raise the consciousness of the collective. As we let go of our attachments, we help to free others from theirs. As we awaken to love, we help awaken others to love as well. We are not isolated fragments, but an inseparable part of a vast, living whole. When one light is ignited, it illuminates the entire cosmos. And so, the question remains, are you ready to embrace the forbidden teachings of the Law of One? Are you prepared to stand in the face of the unknown, to strip away the layers of conditioning, fear, and doubt, and to step fully into the light of your true self? This is the path of awakening, a path that leads us to the realization that we are not separate from the divine, but expressions of it. We are not mere wanderers in the dark, but divine beings on a journey home. The choice is yours. You are the one who must decide. No one can make this decision for you, and there is no greater authority than your own soul. The Law of One teaches us that free will is sacred, that each soul must walk its own path and choose its own destiny. But remember, this choice is not about achieving some distant goal. It is not about attaining something outside of yourself. It is about recognizing the truth that has always been within you. It is about remembering the divine essence that you are. The journey may not be easy, but it is the only true path to freedom. It is the only way to break the chains of illusion, to see through the veil, and to reunite with the infinite consciousness that is your true nature. As we awaken, we dissolve the barriers that keep us apart. We recognize the divine in every being, in every experience, in every moment. The path of awakening is the path of love, of unity, of service to others. It is the path that leads us beyond the confines of the ego and into the expansive, infinite consciousness that binds us all together. This is the Great Awakening, the the moment when we recognize that we are not separate from the universe, but that we are the universe. We are not individuals, but expressions of the one infinite creator. And as we awaken to this truth, we will see that the whole cosmos is alive with the same love, the same consciousness, and the same divine essence that flows through us. Are you ready? The choice is yours. The Great Awakening is unfolding now, and you are an essential part of it. The question is not whether you will awaken, but how deeply will you awaken? How fully will you embrace the truth of who you are? The journey continues, and we walk it together. Thank you for joining this exploration of the Law of One. If this journey resonated with you, share it with others and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the mysteries of existence. What is your understanding of oneness, and how do you see the path of ascension? Let us know in the comments below. Together we continue to uncover the greatest truths of all.